Good morning, everybody. It's Sarah Little, and I'm here with some gentle yoga for you. And we're working feet and legs today in a pursuit towards a inversion or a variety of inversions. But we're going to start with, good morning. We're going to start with a mat. I need to get a mat out. All of my people abandoned me again today. Lance is on a business call. And Egan and Julia are watching corgis herd things on YouTube. So, not that they were going to be here anyways, but you know. So, get out your mat and let's go ahead and lie on down. Make sure I'm mostly in the picture there for you guys. And then let's bring the right hand to the heart, left hand to the belly. Lift and stretch your toes out a little bit as you're here. And lower the heads of your shoulders towards the floor. And then I like to do a little lift of the head. As I'm pressing my shoulders down, I like to do a little lift of the head and resettle the head towards the floor while I'm drawing my chin in so the back of my neck feels really long. And let's develop some awareness of the breath moving in the body. The general goal with yoga is that we are linking our sensations of breathing with our movements. But first we just want to feel the movement of the breath itself. So as you're inhaling, feeling your body swell. And as you're exhaling, feeling your body contract. And inhale, feel your body swell. And exhale, feeling your body contract. Then bring both hands to your chest. And allow yourself time and space to focus on why you're practicing today. What's going on in your space that yoga is a good idea? And sometimes it means, hey, because I practice yoga at 11 o'clock on Tuesday. All right, release your arms down by your sides. Draw your knees in towards your chest. And let's start to rock a little side to side. Feeling the base of the body, the bottom rolling against the floor. And giving ourselves space for that. And then I want you to release your arms to the sides and let the legs move by themselves. To the right, and inhaling center, and exhaling to the left. And just getting a good sense of how the bottom is encountering the floor, where your lines of tension are there. And then let your knees drift away from you slightly and get some different spots. So as the knees drift away, we move, for me, as I'm tucking the knees in towards my body a lot, I'm getting the top of my pelvis. But as I let the knees drift away, then I'm getting middle pelvis space. And then as I go almost perpendicular, then I'm getting sort of the meat of the butt cheeks, the outer hip space there. And if you go really far down, you can kind of feel the space right above the tailbone. But I don't like that because that strains my back a little bit. So we just want to find those different zones. Now I want you to start to bring your knees around in circles. And let's start counterclockwise. Why not? Inhaling as your knees drift away and exhaling as you draw in. And just feeling again, we're going to be feeling the bottom a little bit here. Maybe it feels really good to rotate along this space. And then let's go back the other direction. So now going counterclockwise, clockwise. And then we're going to let the knees go over to the right. And see if you can let the right thigh settle all the way down towards the floor. This cool weather has been so nice for me. Like sunny and cool. Breathe up and down your spine. And then we'll squeeze the right leg up into the left leg, bring the knees up and drop them over to the left side. Breathing here, drop your right shoulder back towards the floor. I'm going to scoot my outer left hip away a little bit so that I'm getting equal length along the spine, and take my gaze over towards the right hand and breathe up and down the spine space. Press your left knee up to draw your legs up. Bring your feet back towards the floor. And let's draw the right knee into the chest. Give it a good solid squeeze. Let the right hip shift away from you and settle the right foot to the floor, and then bring the left knee into the chest. Hug it in nice and firm. Let the left leg go down, and we'll just go side to side, drawing the right knee in as far as it'll go, and then setting it down. Left knee in as far as it'll go, and set it down. And anytime we do this, we notice how much the pelvis rocks away. And as we're trying to get into the muscles of the legs, we try to secure the pelvis. So we're doing a little bit of a push-pull action. This next time, draw your right knee into your chest. Push your foot away and get more of the pelvis to land on the floor. And then be in a little bit of a war. You're pushing your foot away, but you're drawing your knee into your chest. So for me, that gives me a deepening feeling into the low belly space. And then release down. And let's draw the left knee into the chest. Draw the toes back at your face, and then push that foot away from you as you're scooting that outer left hip. And then you think about, drawing the knee in but pushing the foot away, so you're getting more of the pelvis on the left side to sit down into the floor as you're here. Release down. Draw your right knee into your chest and hold on behind the right leg. And you can hold on fairly low. It doesn't have to be super high. And we're going to extend as we inhale. And we're going to exhale and bend the knee, pull it into the chest. Inhale and extend. Exhale and bend. Inhale and extend. Exhale and bend. Inhale and extend. And then I want you to draw the knee in towards you. Make a kickstand with your right elbow and just let your right leg fall out to the right. And we're going to, for a moment, we're going to let things get a little soft. And you can even move your knee around slightly as you're finding purchase with the pelvis. So by purchase, really thinking about how the pelvis is setting on the floor. And then let's extend the right leg and exhale and bend. Inhale and extend the right leg. Exhale and bend. So we're extending out at that angle. Inhale, extend the right leg. Exhale and bend. Draw it in towards you and settle the right foot to the floor. Bring your left knee into your chest. Give it a nice hug. Hands back behind your thigh. And you can hold down pretty low depending on how your body's working today. Inhale and extend your left leg. Exhale and bend. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale and bend. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale and bend. Let your left elbow come to the floor, and then just create a little hook for your left knee to sit on. And you can let your left leg get a little heavy. And then notice that that right hip wants to roll up, yes? So let's send the right hip back towards the floor and let the left leg be heavy to the left. Take a few breaths. Notice the breath moving in and out of your body. And then on our next inhalation, we're going to extend that left leg and exhale and bend. Inhale and extend the left leg. Exhale and bend. Inhale, extend the left leg. Exhale and bend. And then bring it back in. We're going to go across the body a little bit. Right knee into your chest. We're going to keep the pelvis down on the floor, okay? Pelvis and shoulders are going to stay in space as we pull the right knee across. So your foot might catch the inside of the left leg, or it might cross over. My right hip really wants to head off to the left, and I'm going to pull it down. So it's really, we're stretching from the outer knee to the outer hip space. And then release. And draw the left knee in, give it a good hug. And we're going to pull the left knee across. Again, that left hip is going to want to fly up towards the ceiling. Let's bring it down as we pull the knee across, because we want to focus ourselves in that outer band of sensation. Maybe the foot crosses, maybe not. You see where your body's at today. And we want to visualize lengthening from the outer knee to the outer hip. Release down. We're going to do some butterfly action here on the back. So bring your knees in towards your chest. Keep your feet together. Inhale, open your knees. Exhale, bring them together. Inhale, open your knees. Exhale, bring them together. Inhale, open your knees. Exhale, bring them together. We're going to do 2 more. Inhale, open the knees. Exhale, bring them together. Inhale, open the knees. Exhale, bring them together. Extend your legs up towards the ceiling. As you extend the legs up, maybe you discover things are really tight and so you keep your knees bent. But do think about making the front body really long. So roll the tailbone away, it's not really a tuck, it's a draw the belly down in towards the bowl of the pelvis and scoot the tailbone away as you're drawing the crown of your head in another direction. And maybe you can extend towards straight. As you're looking up at your legs, and I'm going to get a little persnickety about this today, and we're just going to go with it. You shouldn't see the inside edge of your heels as you're extending legs up towards the ceiling, okay? You should see your inner ankles, your medial malleoli, but you shouldn't see your inner heel. So see if you can kick the outer edges of your heels out so you can disappear the inner heels. All right, 2 more breaths. And it may be tricky on one side. My right side always wants to play peekaboo with me. And then let's release down, roll over to the right, ease yourself up and around to a seat, and bring yourself into Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose, okay? We're gonna work around here, just moving the spine, inhaling forward, exhaling, rounding back, giving ourselves a little bit of space. Excuse me. Our house is cold today. Let's go the other way. It's really exciting. I was on the website yesterday for the Claremont Club, and I was seeing how many videos are happening from the various group exercise instructors. This is so cool. Everybody doing their part to get exercise out to the Claremont Club and to their friends. Hands back behind you, roll your shoulders back. Let's let the knees go over to the right, and inhale, come up, and let them go over to the left. Ooh. And let's go side to side. Just letting yourself have those movements. Noticing, again, like right side versus left side. Where's there more of a story? and then come on up and send your legs away from you. I'm going to back up so you can see the soles of my feet a bit. Okay, I think you can. Maybe. And I want you to look at your legs here. So maybe you bend your knees a bit so you're comfortable. And I want to talk about those medial, the inner bumps. So the bumps on the inside edge of your ankles, those are your medial malleoluses. And they're made, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. So what happens sometimes is when our ankles collapse, and mine will do this, you'll see this bowing out, is that medial malleolus disappears and you see a lot of the inner edge of the heel. Now when we're standing, when we're centered on our feet, we shouldn't be able to see that inner edge of the foot. So we're going to focus on that a little bit. So push the inner edges of your feet away from you and draw the outer edges up. So it's this like a stirrup. You're pulling up on the outer edges of the heels towards your bottom. And then we're sort of lengthening from the inner thigh into the inner heel. Push your big toe mounds away. Press the heels down into the earth and then draw. So it's this sort of like you're pulling, right? When we're on skis and you plant the skis and then haul back. And we stabilize with the legs when we're doing that. So I want you to have this sense of pressing down and hauling back through the legs, which innervates the posterior chain of the leg. So it innervates the calf muscles and the hamstring muscles there. Backs of the thighs and the lower leg. Lift the low belly up, lift your sternum. And this begins to feel like core work, right? It's pretty heating. Go ahead and reach your arms up if you can. And if it's feeling like too much, you can always put your hands down, or maybe it would feel good to bend your elbows. I had a great class with Tracy Brennan this morning, one of my regular teachers, and she did lots of stuff for neck and shoulders, and I thought, hey, she was reading my mind from yesterday. So good. So if you missed it, go back. That was a good one for everybody yesterday. And then let's release the arms down, draw the knees in towards us, and we're going to shift over to the side, roll around, hands and knees. Okay. Kind of in the picture, here we go. All right. Reach your right leg up and back, and then draw your knee out to the side. Reach it back, draw your knee out to the side. Reach it back, draw your knee out to the side, and then release back and down. Left leg, inhale, reach it back. Exhale, bend your knee, draw it out to the side. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, draw your knee out to the side. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, draw your knee out to the side. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, draw your knee out to the side. And then set it down. Big toes come together. Shift your hips side to side. And I'm going to walk us first into puppy dog and then into child's pose. So take your hands out ahead of you and let your hands be really smart. Let them spread out. Take up space. Press down through your finger pads. Lift your elbows up as you press your forehead towards the floor. Lift the heads of the shoulders up. Lift your belly. Reach out through your body. Let your head be heavy. Breathing in and
be with y'all in a minute.
The hero of my heart is going to join us. All right, if this feels good, you can stay right here. But if you've got a little bit more space in your knees, you might move your knees in towards you and press your hips back towards your heels, taking a full child's pose. If your knees say, hey, this really isn't comfortable, then back it back up, right? Always take the things that feel better in the body. Come up, hands and knees, and then let's bring the feet together so you can just look at them. Let your big toes touch, And let the heels touch each other. And notice how much the ankles sort of swim towards the floor there, the inner ankle. See if you can put more weight into, so I'm going to move my feet behind my knees now. And see if you can put, you can't see me at all. Okay, so my heels are behind my knees. And I'm going to put more weight into my pinky toes. When that happens, you may see that the heels spill out, the ankles spill out. So the goal is to have the tops of the feet pressing down, the inner ankle drawing in, but that inner heel moving back. So see if you can find that space. We're going to see if we can use that space as we inhale and lift the right leg up. And then exhale, bring the right foot back down towards the floor. And as you set down, think, okay, all 5 of those toes are touching. The inner ankle is drawing in. The inner heel is swooping back. And then lift the left leg up. Draw in the navel point. Take a few breaths. And settle down. Let's get off of the hands. So either, again, puppy dog pose or child's pose. Take the space that's interesting. And feel how the top of the foot and the ankle are touching the earth, right? So go ahead. You're in puppy dog pose. Okay. So I'm going to talk. Sorry, we've got a moment here. What's happening? What do you need? They're going to stop with corgi videos, though. They're done with corgi videos. Okay. So now, come on back up to hands and knees. And let your big toes touch again. So bring your big toes together. And then just look through between your knees. So I'm going to give you the picture of lamps there. Oops. That's my blood. Okay. So let your big toes touch. And as your big toes touch, the ankles tend to sort of bow out. And the inner heels kind of draw in. So see if you can straighten, pull your outer ankles in, yeah, and then press your inner heels away. It's kind of an interesting thing. It's a little bit fiddly, I believe. It's a lot fiddly. Lance will give me an editorial commentary later, I'm sure. Okay, he hasn't yet, actually. I make him do weird things and he hasn't given me any editorial feedback.
It's the word fiddly.
It's always fiddly. Okay. Now go ahead and tuck your toes under here. And think about that same thing. Go ahead and walk your feet as wide as your knees. Take your feet as wide as your knees. Step your feet, yeah. So the feet are wide as the knees. Tuck the toes under. And think about, again, notice if your inner heels are bopping in towards each other. Push out through the big toe mound, through the inner heel. Gather the inner ankles towards one another. Lift the low belly, draw your chest forward. And then we're going to try for, you can decide yes or no, we're going to try for a downward facing dog. So knees come off, keep the knees bent, press the chest towards the thighs, and we'll go back and forth. Inhale down, exhale, crouching dog. Inhale down, exhale, crouching dog. Inhale down, exhale, crouching dog. Keep the knees really bent. Press your chest back towards your thighs, yeah. And then look at your ankles. See if you can push that inner heel away from you and draw your inner ankle in. 2 more breaths.
Push the inner heel away and the inner ankle in.
Yeah, I know. It's an Iyengar cue. We gotta love the Iyengars for coming up with all kinds of amazing stuff like that. Okay, bring your knees down, please. Swing your legs to the side and send your feet out ahead of you. So at this point, we're gonna sit for a few minutes because we're gonna work with the feet. So if you need to sit on something, go ahead and grab that. Okay. So here, press your right toes away from you and then draw them back towards your face and press your left toes away from you. So we're going to alternate. Right toes away, left toes towards, left toes away, right toes towards. Keep moving. Hey, can you see my feet? It's hard to tell. My lighting on my screen is not awesome. So we're playing in this space. You see, we have the footstool on the path from our bedroom to the bathroom, and Lance kicked it the other day, and he's got an amazing bruise on his foot. Not the kind of nighttime expedition anybody ever wants. Okay, now we're going to let the feet fall out and then let them fall in. So you may want to take your feet a little wider apart. Let your feet fall out and then let them fall in. Let them fall out. And just notice what happens with your inner heels as you're doing this. As I'm falling in, I'm feeling the ankle move out to the outside, which is fine, but we also just want to be aware of what happens there. Now try to keep your feet really firm. So flex the toes back towards the face, push the big toes away, and then let the legs move as a single unit. Out, and and in, out, and in, and then let the feet be really floppy, right? So they're really floppy, and let them go out and feel them fall in. And just notice the sensational difference there. Okay. Now let's do circles through the ankles. And see if you can isolate the action. Bring your hands to your knees and see if you can isolate the action from the knee and down. And then reverse directions. Sometimes we want the action to go up into the hips, but today we're looking at isolating activity. Okay. Scrunch up your toes. So we're dorsiflexing the ankle joint. We're pulling the top of the foot back towards us, but then I want you to scrunch your toes. So it's just, this is all those weird things that the toes and feet can do. And then release and point the feet away. So we're extending the ankle joint here and then pull the toes back at you. So now we're making those funny Barbie feet.
Barbie feet?
Yeah, haven't you ever looked at Barbie's feet?
That was what I was looking at.
Okay. So Barbie's feet are stuck like she's in high heels.
She was stuck in high heels.
She was stuck in high heels, exactly. So we were making Barbie feet. Okay. Draw your toes back towards you. Dorsiflex. And then we're going to scrunch up the toes as you're pulling the balls of your feet towards you. And then open up your toes. Push the balls of your feet away, but draw the toes back towards your face. Now point away. Extend the toes away.
Barbie feet.
The Barbie feet are here.
Oh, Barbie feet are here.
Yes.
I didn't get the toe part.
And then pull back. It's a floint. It's a floint. You guys, it's gonna deteriorate today, I can tell. Okay. Bend your knees and just squeeze your calves. Squeeze your calves. Squeeze them. And then move. We have a strip of muscle that goes from the outer knee to the inner ankle. It's your tibialis anterior space. And so just run your thumbs along that moment there. Okay. And we're going to shift up to standing. So I'm going to swing my legs out to the side. Maybe. Come on up. Okay. Here, let's work the feet again. So look down at your feet and notice if you're, how casually you're standing, right? Could you close the kitchen door? We've got wind flying through here. It's an exciting day at the Littles.
So notice if one foot is turned out more than the other foot. And see if you can bring your feet hip distance. It's about 2 fists worth between the feet. Okay, you can measure that. And then notice, even if you've got 2 fist distance between the balls of your feet, if you can see that inner heel. We want to get, so we can see the bump, we want to see the medial malleolus, but we don't necessarily want to see the inner heel as we're standing. And then check that with your knees, right? So we want the kneecaps to line up with the second, third toe space. So bend and extend here. Just feeling this space with the heels kicked out a little bit. How that feels for your body, how that feels in your legs. Yeah? Bend and extend, and bend and extend. 2 more. Then stand tall with it.
1 more.
All right. Who's a critic today? Who's a critic? All right, come on. Onto your toes. Barbie foot right now. Okay, Barbie foot. Lower down. Lift your toes up. See if you can rock up onto your heel. And then come up on your toes.
Barbie feet to Ken feet.
Barbie feet to Ken feet, evidently. I guess Ken wears 0 gravity shoes. And then lift up. And release down. Lift your toes. 1 more time up. Release down. Lift your toes. Hijinks, I tell you. Okay. Now, step your feet wide. Move around in your pelvis. Evidently, I cannot step my feet wide without moving my pelvis around. Angle your toes slightly in. Okay? So as you do that, we're kicking those inner heels out. And then notice if you're rolled up, right? If the pinky toes are coming up. See if you can settle the pinky toes towards the floor. Then are you rolling out onto the pinky toes? So see if you can have big toe mounds, pinky toes, inner heel, outer heel. I want it all. And then from these outer thighs, gather in, squeeze in from the outer thighs, and then push out from the inner thighs. So it's this squeeze in from the outside and out from the inside. That helps me feel more grounded in those feet. Bend your knees a little bit, lean forward, place your hands on the floor. If you don't quite make it to the floor, that's okay. You can grab something like a chair. You could keep your hands on your hips. Breathe a few times. And then in this space, with your hands down, whether you're on a chair or on the floor, go ahead and sneak your hands a little bit further ahead of you. So maybe 1 inch or so ahead of you. And we're going to come up onto our toes. There's that Barbie foot. And then lower the heels back down. Lift your toes up. See if you can keep your pinky toe side of the foot down as you lift the toes up. And then roll forward. Lift your heels. And then release the heels towards the earth. Lift the toes up. And I like to take my butt back a little bit as I lift the toes up. And then we'll go 1 more time. Make sure I'm honest about that. Come all the way up on the toes. See how high you can get your arches. And then settle back down. Lift the toes up. See if you can lift the balls of the feet up as well. Let's see if that's going to happen for Lance. Oh, it is. There it is. All right. Now, release forward. Whole foot down. And see if you can soften your knees. Let your chest fall through between your thighs. So you might have to bend your knees a lot. And we're going to let ourselves, I'm going to get my elbows towards the floor. I don't know if Lance is going to get there. But I'm going to let my head just dangle down here. And we're going to take some long, slow breaths. So in the cycle of my teaching, bring your hands back down to the floor, lift your chest up, and then take your hands to your thighs. Knees can stay a little bit bent, and climb all the way up. On the cycle of my teaching, this week is inversions. So we're getting the head down below the heart a little bit more this week. Go ahead and turn your left toes out and bend into your left knee. And then straighten your left leg and lean off to the left. Pull yourself upright. Bend into your left knee. Look down at your left heel, right? Your left ankle. Can you see the heel a lot? Is your foot angled forward? If it is, move the outside edge of the foot more parallel to the outside edge of the mat, and then broaden the knee. That's going to be challenging. Bring the inner groin, so this is that inside of the leg is moving out, outside of the leg is moving in. Re-straighten the left leg and let your left hand come to your left thigh or maybe to your left shin. Right hand can stay on your hip, or you might reach it up towards the sky. Right hand comes down, lift yourself up, turn your left toes forward, turn your right toes out, and we'll bend into the knee. I'm going to try to stay in the picture. There it goes. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, bend into the knee. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, bend into the knee, and then look down. Notice. So on my right side is more, you can't necessarily tell, but my right heel kicks more in. So I'm going to move the outer edge of my foot more parallel to the outside edge of the mat.
More parallel?
Yeah. So more parallel here.
It's either parallel or it's not.
He says it's either parallel or it's not. So I guess I'm failing math now too. Good. Inner thigh, move it to the outer thigh. Outer thigh, move it forward. So you're squeezing the muscle of the bone of the thigh, your femur bone. Extend your right leg and lean down. Touch your right thigh with your right hand. Bend the knee. Inhale, come upright. We visited it twice on the other side. Go ahead, take the right leg towards straight. Really push those calf muscles forward. Right hand is going to come to the right thigh, or maybe the right shin. Left arm is going to reach up towards the ceiling. Or stay on your hip. Bring your left hand down, bend your right knee, draw yourself upright, bring your right toes forward, and then bring everything together. He's still moaning about the more parallel idea. It's either parallel or it isn't, says my husband. Okay, good thing. I'm going to get smarter just hanging out with him. You think after the almost 20 years we've been together?
She's brilliant.
Hear that, guys? I'm brilliant. Except about parallel. Okay.
Not in all things.
Look down at your feet. Make the outside edges of your feet parallel to the outside edges of the mat. Just do it. Now, lift up. So you're going to bend your right knee, lift up onto your right toes, pivot the right knee out to the right. Draw the knee up. And then let's settle the foot back to the floor. Bring the right foot down. Notice how you let it touch down. Bend your left knee, pivot, take it out to the left, reach it up, settle it down, pivot it forward. Notice how you set that foot down. So just get used to putting things down in the quote-unquote correct position, okay? Right knee bends, pivot, draw the knee up, settle the foot down, turn it forward, Find that correct space. Left knee up. Take it out to the side. Bring it back. Settle the foot down. This time it's going to change a bit. Weight goes over into the left. Right knee bends. Take it out to the right. Bring it up. Bring your right hand back behind your thigh. And see if you can kick your leg towards straight. And you might need to hold on to something, right? Inhale, extend. Exhale and bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale and bend. We got one more. Inhale, extend. Exhale and bend. Bring it forward. Settle the foot down. Make it a conscious choice. How do you settle that foot down? Okay? Left knee comes up. Oops, we're going to come up on the toes. Turn it out so you get that external rotation happening. Lift the knee up. Maybe you hold on to something with the right hand. Grab your left thigh and scoot that outer butt down. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale and bend. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale and bend. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale and bend. Let's do one more. Extend and bend. Bring it back forward. Settle your foot down. Okay, turn towards the short edge of your mat. We're going to work the front of the legs a bit. Draw your right foot back. Bend into your back knee. Draw your right buttock forward. Extend the right leg. Bend the knee. Right buttock forward. Extend the leg. Bend the knee. Right buttock forward. Extend the leg and stay. Pick up your belly button. Draw your ribs back. Lengthen the crown of your head so that we are back in our playhouse. Push the ceiling of your playhouse away. And then let's step the feet together. Right out of the picture. Huh?
What?
A couple of old folks over here. Huh? What? The other leg back. Left leg. Use your left butt cheek to help you push your left hip forward. Bend into that back knee. Inhale, extend the back leg. Exhale, bend into the back knee. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, bend into the knee. Inhale, extend the leg. Bend into the knee. Extend the leg, draw your belly button in. Lengthen, push. Crown of the head one way, tailbone the other way. And then step your feet together. Nicely done. Okay. One more cycle there. And then we're going to come back to warrior two. Right leg back. Bend into the back knee. And maybe you hover it right over the floor. Maybe not. Kick the leg straight. Bend the knee. See how close you can get it towards the floor. And then extend the back leg. Nice. One more. Bend the knee. Hover. Extend the leg. And step forward. Ground that energy. Check in with your heels. Broaden them out. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot's moving back. Bend into the left knee. See how close you can get it towards the floor. And then kick it back out. Yeah, nice. Bend in. Kick it back out. Oof. Bend in. Kick it back out. And then step yourself together. Every time I do that one, feel it. Okay, step the feet wide. Turn your right toes out. Bend into your right knee. Warrior two. Kick the inner groins back. Take the tail down. Think about length on the side bodies. Extend your arms wide. Gaze over the right. Look down at your right heel and notice if you're seeing a lot of your inner heel. See if you can make the outside edge of your foot parallel to the outside edge of your mat. I'm great to be married to.
What? Like my knee?
I let his knees going creak, 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 creak. Turn your right toes forward. I always thought it was his left knee that was more challenging. Turn your left toes out.
My right knee talks.
His right knee talks, his left knee is challenging. That's like the two children, okay. Except there are three children. Left knee bent, kick your inner groins back, take your tailbone down, float your arms up, look down at your inner heel. Notice if you see a lot of meat there. Move the outside edge of your left foot parallel to the outside edge of the mat. Bend into the knee a bit. Stay. Release your hands. Pivot on your left toes. Walk your feet towards each other. Okay. We're going to take a wide leg downward facing dog. So I'm going to come at it from this way, but it might be more comfortable if you stay situated at your wide on your mat, okay? But you'll get a better angle if I show you this way. So Lance is going to go wide with his mat. I'm going to go long with my mat. So we're stepping wide. Kick those inner heels out. Bend your knees. Lengthen forward. Put your hands down on the floor right under your shoulders. All right, bend your knees a lot and walk your hands forward. Then lower your chest towards the floor as you reach your butt back behind you. Let your head dangle. You might choose to work your legs towards straight, but you want to make sure that as you work your legs towards straight, that the upper back isn't pushing forward. So you want to keep moving the low ribs back towards the thighs, the crown of the head towards the floor as we're working the legs. Bend your knees, walk your hands back towards you, then bring them to your thighs, climb on up, bring your feet towards one another. We're going to go down towards the floor. Inhale, reach your arms up, so turn towards the short edge of your mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward, put your hands on the floor, walk your hands out. Lower your knees down towards the floor and then walk your knees back. And we're going to come all the way down to our bellies. Okay, as you're here, and I've got to check our image, but all right, always image conscious in this world of coronavirus. So as you're here, walk your legs back behind you, thinking about making it up. Why did I get up? So I could see what's... No, you stay right there. Oh. He's staying. Sit, stay, just like the dog.
Not just like the dog.
Okay, so feel back behind you all of that sensitivity that we've been working on with the feet. And see if you can tell whether your inner heels are moving in or whether you can press away with your inner heels. So oftentimes those inner ankles are moving out and the inner heels are sort of pulling in again. So draw the inner ankle bones together, but push the heels away. Yes. Okay. And then let's lift up. Inhale, reach your right leg up. Exhale, settle it down. Inhale, reach your left leg up. Exhale, settle it down. We're just going to walk like this. Inhale, lift right leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift left leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift right leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift left leg. Exhale, down. Bend your right knee. Yeah. Fan your foot so it's, yes, really energetic. and it's reaching towards the ceiling. You can see Lance's foot there. Looks really good. And then you're going to lift your right knee off of the earth. And settle the right knee down. Inhale, right knee comes off of the earth. Exhale, settle it down. Inhale, right knee off of the earth. Exhale, settle it down. This time we're going to lift the knee off. Keep it lifted. And then pulse 5 times. See if you can get the knee or the heel higher. Pulse just up. Yeah. So we're working the action of the hamstrings and the glutes here. And we're getting both ends of the hamstrings. We're getting the hamstring in its work as an extensor, and as its work as a hip extensor, and as its work as a knee flexor. Release the foot back down towards the floor. Bend your left knee. Fan the top of your foot towards the ceiling. Nice. Lift the left knee up and settle it down. Inhale, lift the left knee up and settle it down. Inhale, lift the left knee up and settle it down. Inhale, lift the left knee up. Keep it lifted and then pulse. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Keep it lifted a little higher. Yeah, and then settle it down. Extend the leg long. And pause. Just let your body, pause, integrate. Okay, go ahead and roll over onto your back. Okay, and as you're here on your back, walk your elbows out and come into, so keep your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Walk your elbows out, let your elbows drop down towards the floor, and we'll do a little upper back work for a moment. On your exhale, bring your elbows together in front of you. And then maybe the whole forearm touches. Inhale, open back towards the floor. Really press your elbows down into the floor. Exhale, bring the forearms together. Inhale, drop the elbows down towards the floor. Exhale, elbows together. Inhale, elbows towards the floor. Exhale, elbows together. Everything's going to change now, not everything, but some things. And we're going to see if we can touch the floor above our heads. So keep your elbows together in front of you. And see if you can touch the floor over your heads. And then bring your elbows down towards your belly button. And then reach up over your head. Exhale, elbows towards the navel. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, elbows towards navel. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, release your arms down by your sides and press your whole upper arm bones down. So from the head of your shoulder towards your elbow is really landing on the floor. Push into your feet. Inhale, lift your hips up. Exhale, lower your pelvis down. So bend your knees, my love. Inhale, lift your hips up, elbows beside your rib cage. Inhale, lift your hips up. Exhale, lower your pelvis down. Inhale, lift your hips up. Exhale, lower your pelvis down. Bring your feet together. So heel, toe, feet together. And really it's the big toes are brushing each other, but the heels are kicked slightly out, right? And going with our theme today. Press down into the upper arm bones. Lift your hips up. Not a lot, a little bit. Yeah, maybe an inch or 2 off the floor. Bring your right knee into your chest. Extend the right leg towards the ceiling. Bend your knee. Set your foot down. Left knee up. Lift, kick towards the ceiling. Bend, lower down. Right leg bend. Extend. Bend the knee. Lower. Left leg bend. Extend. bend and lower. Settle your bottom down. Pause. Let your arms fall out at your sides. Take a moment. So we're going to come back into that space, and we're going to see if we can get the hips to go higher. So bring your elbows by your sides, roll the heads of the shoulders down, press down into the earth. You'll feel your chest begin to lift. Draw the tailbone down, move the feet towards each other, lift your hips up. Go for a little bit higher. As you go for a little bit higher, work your shoulders under you. Bring your right knee up. And maybe this is enough right here, or maybe you extend the right leg. We're going to breathe a couple of times. Notice if your heel is really kicking out. Bring the right foot towards the floor. Big toes kiss. Left knee up. Kick towards the ceiling, or keep the knee bent. Bend your knee, settle your foot towards the earth, release down. Let your knees go to one side, doesn't matter which. Breathe up and down your spine. Really imagine the whole journey from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head, and then looping back down and flowing back towards your tailbone. Bring your knees up. Let them go over to the other side. Again, breathing down from the bottom all the way through the crown of the head. Imagine the swirling loop inside your head and then spiraling back down towards your tailbone. Bring your knees up. We've got blocks here, but you might use a pillow, or you might use a folded up towel or a folded up blanket. I reckon, or you could use the complete works of Shakespeare. You could use a fairly thick book. The block is about 3 inches tall on its lowest height. So if you have an unabridged dictionary, you can use that. Okay. So feet go on the floor. Inhale, lift your hips up, slide something underneath your bottom. Okay? And then settle your bottom down. You want to make sure that whatever you've put underneath your bum is something that, that is not extending into the free lumbar spine, right? That you're centered your pelvis on it. So if you have a big book, if you're using an unabridged dictionary, it's going to go more towards your heels than towards your low back space, okay? And then let's be here. So roll the right shoulder under, roll the left shoulder under, and let your arms relax at your sides. We're getting this nice lift of the chest. Then engage your navel slightly and think about pulling the low ribs down, the tailbone through the knees. Expand your left toes onto the earth. Really think inner heel, outer heel, big toe mound, pinky toe mound. Draw your right knee in towards you and kick your right foot up towards the sky. Now we're going to hang out here for several breaths. You can notice, right, this external, internal rotation that wants to happen, whether your foot wants to go out to the side or whether it wants to reach into the inside. See if you can keep the foot steady. Work the outer right hip away as you're pushing the inner heel, the inner ankle draws in, the big toe mound pushes away. You're using your calf muscles towards your face, your thigh muscles, your quadricep muscles away from your belly. Then see if everything from your belly button up can be really chill. Can your breath be slow? Can your face be impassive? And go ahead and bend your right knee. Put your right foot on the floor. Pause. Notice any information that came in on the right side. Make sure your elbows are nice and pressing into the earth to keep your chest open. That's one of the places that we tend to collapse. So let's get the collarbones really broad. Then think low ribs in, reaching towards the tailbone. Draw your left knee into your chest. Stabilize with that right foot. So you press down with the right foot and pull back, almost like you're swimming. It's a press down and pull back, and then extend the left leg up towards the ceiling. And notice, are you seeing a lot of your inner foot? Are you seeing a lot of your outer foot? Can you get it straight up and down? So I want you to be able to see the inner bump of your ankle, but not so much your inner heel. So press the foot away evenly. Use the calf muscles back towards your face. Use your quadricep muscles away. Help that to sort of draw that outer hip away, getting equal length along the spine as we're here in this space. Bend your left knee, place your left foot on the floor. Let's try for both legs at once. We're going to stay up for about 10 breaths, so that gives you time. If you go up with both legs and say, you know what, that's really not going to work for me, then you can stay 5 breaths either foot, okay? So I'll let you know when I get to my halfway point. Before we go up with both legs, make sure that your pelvis is evenly pressing down on whatever you're using for your support. So oftentimes either the tailbone rolls away from us or the belly sags down towards the floor. And we want to have an equal sense of top of the pelvis, bottom of the pelvis pressing down, navel point engaged, reaching the rib cage towards the knees. Draw both knees up. You could also just keep both feet on the floor, right? Honesty right there. Or extend, or extend one leg or both legs. Keep thinking about the shoulders moving down into the earth, the tailbone moving away, the chest lifting, and this integration of the rib cage towards the pelvis. We're at about our halfway point, so if you want to switch legs.
Switch legs.
If you were only doing one leg. Check for those inner heels. Mine really want to come meet me. I'm going to push them away. Broaden the ball of the foot. Activate the calf muscles. Push the quadriceps away. Bend your knees. Place your feet on the floor. Lift your hips up. Glide your block out. Get your block away, low, or whatever you're using underneath your bum.
Lower your bottom towards the earth. Again, towards that twist. Drop both knees. Let's take the feet wide first. Take the feet wide. Drop both knees over to the right. Maybe your gaze goes to the left. Lift your knees up. Take the knees over to the left. Maybe your gaze goes to the right, maybe not. Just check and see what feels interesting. You're going to stay a few more breaths. And then as you bring those knees up, decide whether your blood pressure has had enough inversion or whether you want a little bit more inversion. So if you want a little bit more inversion for your Shavasana, you could bring your calves to a chair. You could take your legs up the wall. So decide, or you could extend your legs long, or you could throw your legs over a pillow. There's so many amazing options when it comes to relaxation. You cold? If you're cold, throw a blanket over you. And then let your arms and legs release. So we've been doing all that focus on where the ankles are, where the heels are. At this point in time, it doesn't matter anymore. Let them go. Start to let go of the whole chain of sensation in the body. Giving yourself permission to release, to not have to work so hard, to not be in charge for a little while. I was reading through a book on the yamas and niyamas. That's a book that was introduced to me by a dear friend in Maine. And because we're on the idea of svadhyaya, of self-study, so I was reading the chapter on self-study today. And there was a conversation within it that I've heard in another yoga text by Stephen Cope about that our real suffering comes from the moments when things happen in our life that we go, wait, but I'm not that person. That's not who I am. I'm always on time. How could I possibly be late? That it's in those moments of discrepancy when actually no, sometimes we're late, sometimes we're mean, sometimes we are, we just don't want to. And so this woman, Deborah Adele, was saying that the real benefit of self-study is allowing ourselves to be all of the things, but remembering that the place that we're moving towards is this ultimate space of the watcher, this ultimate space of divinity. and allowing for the moment when actually you are the person who's yelling at your children, even though that's not who you want to be. And actually you are the person who's annoyed with an in-law. And to allow each moment to be exactly what it is. Start to move the fingers and the toes. Circle in the wrists and in the ankles. Go both ways with those. Draw your knees into your chest. Hug on in, rock around like how we started class. Lance missed the really good stuff.
No, I didn't.
Oh, he got some good stuff. He made it for Shavasana, so that was the good stuff.
All good stuff.
It's all good. Roll over to whichever side doesn't have furniture or person in it. And then press yourself up for a seat. You can sit back down on whatever you were using earlier for a lift. We've got a few minutes of meditation time. So settle your bottom towards the earth. Lift your low belly away from the earth. So you're drawing up through the center of your body, into your throat, and out through the crown of your head. Rest your hands on your knees. And this week we're just looking at, in our meditation, of how the body mimics the world it's in. Soften your jaw. Feel the heavy parts of your body, the bones, the densely packed tissues of bone. Noticing how our bones give us heft and structure. They give something for the muscles to act on, to push away from. Very much like the earth and the rocks. Feel the vitality of your heart beating. And imagine all of the large and small passageways that your blood travels every minute, every second of every day. And allow that to mimic the waterways of our planet. From the lowliest stream to the mightiest rushing river. Feel the vegetation of your organs, your muscles. Bring your hands to your heart space. Lift your heart up as you inhale, and exhale, bow your head. For a moment, feel your entire swath of skin. Skin that defines you as you. Make a commitment to practicing kindness within yourself today, towards yourself and towards those around you. The light in me honors and celebrates that same light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your practice. Have a lovely day.
Namaste.